I do write letters.
Yes, I still do write letters. Not as frequently as I used to when I was younger, but I still do.
Yes, but not very often.
No, I'm afraid not, but I do that more often in high school.
I do think that fewer and fewer people are writing letters because of how convenient our devices have made everything. I think most people would think to send a text even over an email, and only an email if they have to. I don't think that people would consider letters that much anymore, but I think that they should, because I think it's a really sincere thing. I think that, again, technology just makes things really, really convenient.
I think the most obvious reason is the advance in technology. Nowadays, people are used to communicating with each other on their smartphones or on the internet, which they think is more convenient and more efficient.
Letters is just a way of communication. Like back in ancient times, they don't have other ways. Letter is probably the most efficient way. But nowadays, we have all kinds of social media. We can just connect to someone one click away. So, and people don't want to wait anymore.
I think it's because those people who choose not to write letters, they have got other options. I mean, why would they wait for weeks for someone overseas to get their letter through postal service if they can just press the send button on their phone, on their devices, and then the other person can just get it instantly? That's the whole point of internet and technology, isn't it?
The meaning of letter for me is about physical connection. For example, people who got my letter, they can keep it physically and check it later on in the future as a memory.
I think that the meaning of a letter is the blueprints to communication, or one of the more modern blueprints of communications. We didn't exist in a time where we had a telegraph, so I would say that one's a better example, but we grew up in the age of letters, transitioning into technological devices, and I think that this is one of the most sincerest forms of communication, and something that is just nice to receive in the mail. That's not a bill or maybe like a scary letter from an acceptance or rejection from a college or an internship that you really wanted. I think this is one of the kindest things you could do for someone, and one of the most sincerest, most thoughtful things you could choose to express to someone that you care about. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing or whatever it may be, all a letter says to me, and the meaning behind it is that they took the time to reach out to you in this way. They easily could have sent you a text, they could have sent you an email, but they didn't.
I think letter means a lot. Letter can convey rich feelings and emotions. Letter can deliver warmth and love. In some cases, letter can give people strength and power.
That depends. For now, the meaning of letters can be more romantic to my perspective, because you need to do a lot of things when you write letters. Like, you need to put more effort in it, and it shows more of your attitude than of the text itself. But in ancient times, maybe it's just a way of communication. Like, they tell you that your child got into university, they tell you that you receive a message from beyond the sea.
I'd say it's nostalgia, and it's that kind of connection between individuals. And letters are the best container of love and emotions, of course, just like an old record that you can replay over and over again. It's also a kind of personal legacy, something that can be passed on to the next generation. Like, I would definitely give my children the collection of all my letters, only if they are interested in my life story.
I do think that the tradition of writing a letter should be carried out. I don't think it should be a lost art. I think that it should continue to be taught in school. For me personally, I learned it in elementary school, and then from there, that was it. We didn't really revisit letters ever again. And I know that you can just Google a letter and how to do the proper heading and everything, but it's nice. I feel like it should be something practiced each year of school. I think that it shouldn't, just be taken for granted and then like, okay, I don't know how to write a letter. Like, I think if you were to ask a millennial, or not a millennial, actually, if you were to ask a Gen Z, how do you compose a tweet and how do you address a letter, you'd get a faster answer as to how to compose a tweet, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just what they're used to, what they're accustomed to. So I think that writing letters is, a fun use of time and something that should not go to waste, and one of the kindest things that you could ever do for someone. So
Yes, writing letters still plays a very important role in today's society. Just like paper book, it means a lot to some people, even though electronic book occurs. Writing letter requires your time and energy. In some cases, you need to pick the beautiful writing paper and pay attention to your handwriting. During that whole process, you focus with your heart, and that's why it cannot be replaced.
Definitely. Like I said, I give it a more romantic meaning of it. So even though we have these loads of new technologies, I don't think we should abandon the tradition, especially the good ones. Because writing a letter, just imagine if you receive a letter with really good looking handwriting and you can see the people who send you the letter, their care in this letter, and you want to save it. But for text on, for example, WeChat, it's just cold and it's lying in your phone. That's different.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Letter writing is a spiritual heritage, and I think spending time writing stuff and waiting patiently for someone else to reply, this thought itself is very precious, not to mention how most fully our feelings are expressed in letters. Think about those letters written by soldiers in the First and Second World War. And technology may have replaced the necessity of letter writing, but there are some sentiments letter writing expresses. They are irreplaceable. I think we should cherish moments in time and really understand the importance of letter writing in this digital age.